Welcome to Tamiosity. I'm Tammy. I've been interested in doing some paper crafts, so I've been watching a channel called Treasure Books, and she did a video on making tassels. This isn't exactly a paper craft, but I did get this inspiration from watching the Treasure Books video on making tassels. She did it for Christmas. I'm doing these for fall, and I just wanted to give her a shout out. Thank you, Treasure Books. When I started doing some fall crafts, I have so much stuff in my craft supplies that are all kind of fall related. And some of it's from weddings, like that burlap that I just cut up. That was actually some leftover stuff from weddings from our wedding venue. But everything that you see here was just some stuff that I had in my craft supplies. I actually didn't buy anything. So I just started cutting up things and started creating these tassels. The ribbons were a little bit too wide to be a part of a tassel, so I just cut them into strips, and it really worked out great. And I just wanted to have different textures. I like the metallics mixed with the more matte finishes like the burlap. And then the string that I've used is kind of matte, but then there's also pearls. And then I've added some embellishments too, which are metallics. So I actually really love how these turned out. And if it wasn't for that paper crafts video, I'd be kind of stuck. I really wanted to make a tassel and I didn't really know how to make it happen. And I've cut this down quite a bit. This is not real time at all because there's a lot of fiddling around trying to get everything just right as I put them all together. So I'm going to show two different tassels that I made, and let me rephrase. I'm going to show you the making of two different tassels, and then at the end, you'll see a picture of a bunch that I made. I probably made, I don't know, 10 or 12. A baker's dozen, maybe even. Let's watch and see. Now that I have all the individual little pieces all put together in a bunch that I want to see in just one tassel, I'm pushing this through a jump ring, kind of a large jump ring. Don't ask me the size, I don't know. And then I'm just going to push that jump ring down to the center and fold it over. And then I'm going to tie some string around so the jump ring stays in place. Now that I have the jump ring in the center, I'm just going to use that clip there to hold all of my tassel pieces in place while I wrap the string around. This jute cord and some of the beads that I'll be using, some of this stuff I actually bought because I thought I'm going to take up jewelry making. But it's just not my thing. It's so much harder than it looks. So say I'm making a bracelet and I get to the end and I need to attach, I have to close it off. And then you got to attach something. And then you have to attach the clasp. And when it gets to attaching those pieces to make the end come to an end, it's just so messy when I do it. It's sloppy. And it's certainly not jewelry that I want to wear. So props to those people that make jewelry. I don't know how to pull it off. I'm glad I have these little clips because it's kind of a four-hand job trying to tie off these tassels. If it wasn't for the clips, I'd need help from somebody else, so I'm glad I have those. All right, so I've got a tassel. Now I'm just going to embellish it. I have some of these fun little vintage keys. So I'm going to add keys, I'm going to add beads, I'm going to add charms, and they're just going to come out, very fall and also kind of feminine. And you're probably wondering, well, what are you making tassels for? That's a surprise. So that's for an upcoming video. You'll see. It'll all come together. I want this little key to dangle at the bottom of the tassel, but I didn't like the clean, crisp cut on the end of that string, so I just wanted to fray it apart and make it look more tattered. More, what's the word? Not tattered. What do you call that? Distressed. I wanted it to look distressed. Like I said, I didn't buy anything for this project, so I'm just going through my collection of charms and pulling out some stuff that looks good. This isn't even a charm, it's actually a button, but it has that vintage look and it really complements the key, I think. All right, so we've got a key and we have that button. Let's add some beads too. Not going to stop there. I'm going to add some more beads. So I was trying to add this charm onto this leather strap and it was kind of too wide, so I had to sort of cut it to a point and then pull it through. But because it fits so tight, I didn't even have to put a knot on there. That is not going to slip off. It's not going anywhere. And let's see now. Okay, so that tassel's done. Now I'm going to create this one of these tiny little jars. I'm just going to add some glitter in there and then start making my next tassel. And this little jar of glitter is going to go on the next tassel that I make. I have that large bottle of the leaf glitter, leaf confetti. Yeah, that's what you call it, confetti. And man, I've used it so much and I'm still more than half the bottle is left, even though I've used it quite a bit. A little goes a long way. I added a little bit of glue around the neck of the bottle so that the string would stay wrapped around the neck. It was kind of slipping off before. It just needed a little assistance with some glue. And then I'm leaving the string a little on the long side so that I can tie it to the next tassel and have the little jar kind of hang down at the bottom of the tassel. I'm just going to wipe off a little excess glue on there and get the string all ready. Ready to make the next tassel, so I'm just cutting up some pieces for the next tassel. I thought this time I'd add a little splash of color with this blue, and I also added a different color of ribbon too, which you'll see coming up in just a sec. Every tassel I made has one string of the pearls on there, which I think is really cute. So this ribbon here has a wired edge. I wanted to cut off the wire because I want the tassel to have some movement, and with that wire, the pieces wouldn't have any movement. So then what I use that wire for is on some of the other tassels, instead of wrapping string around the top near the jump ring, I use that wire to wrap it around. So that gave it a nice metallic wrap at the top. And then I had the wire that was left over. So I just wrapped it around a paintbrush handle, a small paintbrush handle like the size of a pencil, to make it curly. And now it has these little curlies that are at the top of the tassels too, metallic little curlies. It's so cute. Making these tassels was really time consuming. Like I said, it's very fiddly trying to get all the pieces to stay the same length and slipping them through the jump ring and, just keeping it all together. But don't let that discourage you. It's just fun. It's obviously busy work kind of, but it's just fun to make them all come together. And then I had these bunches and bunches of tassels and they look really pretty and they're so fall and I kind of wish they had some fragrance, some spicy fall fragrance. What do you guys think of all the different textures? The burlap with the metallics, with the pearls. Do you like all that together or am I crazy? Am I the only one that likes that? I just think that the combination is really something. It didn't occur to me to use those wire edges on this one, but I do on the upcoming tassels that I make. I have tons of these keys because we have a wedding venue and people pass these keys out as party favors. So when they have them left over, they just leave them here. And I love that I have all these keys. It really fits my decor. And I've used them in so many crafts. I have different sizes. They're all kind of the same color, sort of an antique bronze, but they're all different sizes, different shapes, and I just love them. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little off camera. Adding some more embellishments. So some more buttons. This is one of those vintage buttons again. So I'm going to add a button and some more beads and charms. And I mean, you kind of have to look closely at them. If you're just looking at the tassel and where I place them, which you don't know yet, that's a surprise. You may not see them. You kind of have to get in there and look at those tassels to see the charms, but I know they're there. Oh, and here's that cute little bottle. It's vintage. It fits right in with everything else. Do you like this little splash of color with the turquoise, or should I have just have stuck with the fall colors? I kind of like it. I didn't put the turquoise on all of them, just on some of them, but it just adds a little something. I hung up the first couple that I made on the fridge so I could get a picture of them all by themselves, and you can see they kind of have a movement all their own. They're so pretty and so fall. I love how these turned out. And then I took a couple pictures in the sunlight too where they're all bunched up together. I'm glad I got to share this project with you. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I can't wait to show you what I do next.